Okay, back again in Emoji Gaming, so I tried to do another PlayStation 4 games, which is pretty much have a similar length, but like the previous Middle Earth Shadow of War game footage, but this one is a little bit longer for around 1 minute longer, so it's around 22 minutes. So yeah, this game is actually the same game that I have tried to download in the PC as well, even though I definitely don't sell, cannot sell this game unlike the other physical games, because at the time that I tried to buy this game again on the PlayStation 4, I tried to buy it on digital, which is around $6 if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, it's pretty cheap, and especially when I try to compare about the second hand of the physical version of this game, which is around $15. So yeah, that's the reason why I tried to do the digital version instead, even though right now I don't really like this game, especially when I already tried to play the next installment of the franchise, which is much better in terms of the user interface and the experience. But yeah, I'm still trying to complete this game, hopefully in the PC, because for the PlayStation 4 Progress, it is basically already played by my college friend before, which is the previous owner of the PlayStation 4 Slim. And yeah, he's already complete all of the main mission. So yeah, even though during the time that I was basically bought his PlayStation 4 Slim, the physical games that he used to play with this game is already sold with a very cheap price for a second hand at the time that I want to buy the game. So it's around $10. That's the reason why I think it is pretty hard to find the same game, same physical games with the same price. So I decided to do the digital version instead. Yeah, maybe later I will try to, I don't know, just let it exist on the external drive perhaps, because yeah, it's not really have very big file size as well, especially when it compares to the maximum capacity of my external hard drive for the PlayStation 4, which is around 2 terabytes. So yeah, this game is obviously not very significant, especially when I try to install on my Dream Gadget as well, Dream Gadget secondary storage, the SSD 2230 size, and NVMe 256 from Kioxia Toshiba. So yeah, especially when I used to do it with the Grand Theft Auto 5, which is very big in terms of the file size, which is around 100 gigabyte. So this one is less than the third of the Grand Theft Auto 5. And yeah, the maximum capacity of the storage that I used to do it before is actually when I tried to place the Grand Theft Auto 5 and also Grand Watchdog Legion, or the next installment of this franchise, which is twice as big as this game in terms of the file size. That's the reason why it seems to be a little bit better, even though, yeah, I just don't get it why the file size is just so significant. Have a very significant differences. Maybe the engine that they are trying to create with the games is already different. Perhaps it's already the next generation of Unreal Engine or Unity, I'm not sure. But the thing is, when I tried to install Watchdog Legion and Grand Theft Auto 5 at the same storage, which is the 256 gigabyte Kioxia NVMe to 2230 size, the free space remaining that I get is less than a 10 gigabyte, and basically I quite worried about it because every time that there is an update to Grand Theft Auto 5, basically the storage seems to be decreased even more, the free space. So that's the reason why I decided to separate it into another 2230 NVMe which I had, and that's basically the reason why I basically really love about my dream gadget or the GPU Win Max 2 is because I can easily change the 2230 SSD, even though I'm not really often to do that, and I'm actually only once to do that because I'm just still a little bit worried or not really have enough courage to unplug and plug in the drive all the time. So that's the reason why I prefer to do manual moving data through the USB-C or the USB-A I/O port of the devices. And yeah, right now it is already separated, so I cannot play Watch Dogs Legion again on my dream region. And well, it's okay because right now I just like to play Grand Theft Auto Online all the time because yeah, it's just very engaging and pretty much feel quite addicted, even though at some point I do feel bored about games, especially when I just recently made an expensive purchase to the things that basically really useful for the game because it's actually unlocked the additional story of the mission inside the game. And yeah, but it's still definitely need to do the same or do the same other available story or mission over and over again, which is yeah pretty annoying during that time. But yeah, at the time that I basically almost got the enough money to make some purchases, there are some satisfaction feeling in that, which is pretty good. Yeah, basically you can use some mod menu or glitch or even buy some account that basically already had a lot of money and can buy anything that basically available on those games. But yeah, I eventually try not to do that because yeah, at the same time, if I want to do it a little bit more legally, I can actually do it on the single player or instead using some modification, using some mods, which I'm also had the games in my old gaming PC, so that's the reason why maybe I will try to update the Grand Theft Auto 5 on my old gaming PC, which is definitely already outdated for so long, in order to experience the latest things that basically available on the GTA Online. Not sure whether it is actually possible to do the mission as well, because most likely the only thing that you can do on the online is just buying the cars. So yeah, using some sort of trainers, you can spawn the cars that basically exclusively available on the GTA Online, the single player offline GTA 5. Because yeah, models is basically exists on your game, so yeah, that's the reason why By using trainer, you can directly call into the models, and yeah, then the car will eventually spawn on the front of you, or you immediately get into the cars. And yeah, this is actually pretty much a waste of time because yeah, I just don't get it why there are so many things that basically can be done in the phone, including quit the game is also actually happen through the phone, which is pretty weird. And for some reason, my college friend is actually prefer this game instead of the next installment, which I just don't get it. Maybe he's just like to do various kind of thing at once, or maybe this actually a simpler games, or maybe he just hate the simple games. So because yeah, Watch Dogs Legion obviously objective is pretty straightforward. It's just recruiting people and then try to finish the main as well as the side mission. So that's the reason why some people who basically like to do it maybe a little bit bored with the repetitive, but yeah, I'm still really like about the randomization feature of the game. So for some reason, it is pretty interesting to change the character all the time. So that's the reason why I try to play it again, different kind of style in the PC after trying to complete on the PlayStation 4 before. And I just don't get it why I didn't turn off the radio. And I'm not sure whether I will get copyright content or just try to mute the whole audio. I'm not sure. It's just pretty weird because everything seems to be very. So the city is actually pretty vibrant, but our character seems to be pretty static for some reason. Maybe the things that we basically can do in this game is pretty static. Not sure. Maybe I just wanted to play with another character instead. So we are already more of the halfway of this video, so it's only 9 minutes remaining. Yeah, I'm not sure whether what kind of things that basically I tried to do this game, because I think I used to stream it to Twitch directly with this game as well, even though it's probably just trying to do the side mission or the things that basically available on this game. Yeah, it seems to be pretty hard for some reason. Maybe because yeah, I just not really understand about the game, because yeah, there's no tutorials like when you're just try to play this game in the first place.
No homicide or life made it clear it wasn't there. Corner never checked because he didn't fucking care. Passing off the
So yeah, the cards that are available on this game is also not as modern as the one that basically appear on the next installment, because it is actually the closest era that we are currently at right now. Not sure, because if we talk about the prequel of this game, which is the original of this franchise, it is actually pretty old. It's like Hacker in the early 2000s, perhaps, even though the technology is obviously more advanced than the one that we ever known in this world. So yeah, it's still pretty fictional, but yeah, in terms of the environment, it still feels like a Grand Theft Auto 4 world. So that's the reason why. even though it should not really take those time, because yeah, it should be more modern, but for some reason, yeah, it just feels like a GTA 4 or 5. Maybe because the place was staying in the Chicago, which is pretty much look like New York City. I'm not sure. So yeah, that's the reason why most of the things that you can do on those games is pretty much a real gunfight. Yeah, for some reason the mechanics is also pretty much like the GTA 5, maybe because the GTA 5 is already released earlier than the original Watch Dogs franchise. So, yeah, that's the reason why it feels pretty similar, but with a different or other lack of functionalities like switching characters and other kind of customization that you had on the Grand Theft Auto 5. So some of the other feature will most likely like a GTA 4, I guess. Not sure. So the safe house seems to be pretty weird or just full of geek people. I just don't understand. Of course, if you talk about the differences between the prequel and this game, the next installment of the franchise is definitely pretty different. Those the vibe, one of the vibe, the character is just so different. So this game is actually closer to the sequel, which is the Watch Dogs Legion, rather than with the prequels. Even though, yeah, the sequel is just so much better. And hopefully we can get the same thing later when there is another sequel to this franchise. But yeah, I'm pretty worried about the age that we will
Good day to buy
get,
something.
because yeah, it should be if they try to time jump to the future. Most likely it will be happen like in the era of cyberpunk, perhaps. Not sure. Because yeah, it will be pretty interesting if they try to time jump into cyberpunk, but hopefully it is not more than that. Because at the time that I tried to play the Watch Dogs Legion,
Ain't that a shame?
before I even tried to experience cyberpunk, it feels pretty weird because yeah, the world is just way modern than what that we had right
Stay on the road, Jesus! You asshole!
We're in pursuit. You won't get away from squad. Be advised that a possible suspect or suspects have been reported near your location. Be advised, a patrol car has been dispatched after the
seems to
suspect.
be pretty much like the current, but with the more initial things that basically make it really modern. So yeah, even with the cyberpunk, even though it's just way much modern and Watch Dogs Legion, but I'm still pretty much like it because maybe
We're gonna try and
I
block them
don't
off.
know enough about the cyberpunk era movie, such as Ghost in the Shell, Alita Battle Angel. So yeah, that's the reason why. Still quite like it, even though obviously the only thing that I didn't like about cyberpunk is because the first person games. Yeah, I just don't really like first person game, and the only games that I have tried to complete as a first person is only Far Cry 3 on the PC. That's because the story is pretty good because it's it's like a thriller movie where you basically try to go into the island for vacation, but instead you will need to survive there because there's no going home. So it's pretty interesting. I think I used to see some sort of movie that are pretty much similar like that story. I think the one that was played by Maggie Q, I guess one of the oldest actress that I didn't notice is actually appear on Mission Impossible 3. I thought it was only it was popular because of the island movie. I quite forgot what island that can grant you any wish, but the wish that basically will kill you instead. So yeah, I think I was currently away from keyboard and I forgot to turn off the recording again. Even though this is already the last 1 minute of video, I think that the moment that I try to come back and realize this, I try to continue and quit the game. Perhaps, I'm not sure. So yeah, after this I will try to do, I'm not sure, other game footage, which is, I think it is shorter than this, so I will not try to do another PlayStation 4 games because most likely it will be pretty long and I don't think I will get a sufficient time in order to not get interrupted. So yeah, that's the reason why I tried to do the shortest video as possible first in order to be able to make more contents, have things to upload. Besides, it's also going to be processed faster than any of the longer videos, which is pretty annoying. So that's the reason why processing the metro last night, even though I used to make it possible to process much longer videos, such as the longest one is actually the Cyberpunk, but yeah, it still feels pretty annoying for some reason.